Hey guys, what's going on? My name's Tyler McNabb, and this is my 400EX. So in today's video, we're gonna do a little bit of work on this thing. So in the last video I posted, which I think was the one getting the battery all replaced and all that, getting it starting again. So I mentioned at the end of that video after I got done riding that my fan had stopped working, and so get the key. If I put the key in, turn the fan switch on, yeah, see, nothing happens. Oh wait, well, that switch wasn't on, but as you can hear, it didn't sound the healthiest. So, plus it's not blowing nearly as hard as it usually does. And so, my guess is that fan is just full of stuff and is finally ready to be replaced probably. I tried kind of spraying it out, but we'll see. So anyway, I'm going to check that out and see what's going on. But I decided to go ahead and just buy a new one because in case this one is fine and maybe it's like a loose connection or something, I'll have a backup, but most likely I'm just going to go ahead and wire this one up and put it on. So yeah, really only thing to do is get the front plastics off of this thing, get in there, make sure all my connections are good. As long as the connections are good, I'll go ahead and take the fan off, and then I'll take the leads on it and I'll go ahead and like connect them directly to the battery and make sure that it's still running or sounding the same, because if that's the case, then I know the fan itself is the issue and not like a connection somewhere else on the quad. So the only thing left to do is go ahead and get those front plastics off. So let's get into it. guys, well, got the fan off of the quad. It's actually a day later, but got it off yesterday, and then yeah, so the reason it is looking kind of wet is because my dad actually took it. We were kind of messing with it last night. You can't really disassemble these fans, and it just, yeah, so what he ended up doing is he ended up squirting a bunch of WD-40 down in there, just to see if that would maybe loosen stuff up, because there was some stuff kind of catching in there. But I went ahead and got a new fan, as you guys know already, and so I'm just going to go ahead and put that on, because I took this one off and I connected it directly to the battery, and it spun the exact same, as in it's kind of got like a noise going on, like it sounds like a bearing's going out inside this fan. So yeah, and since I can't really take it apart, disassemble it or anything, so yeah, might as well just go ahead and replace it. So, and I hooked this one up, and yeah, this one sounds really good. So all that's really left to do is to go ahead and get this thing wired up. I've got the existing connection coming from the headlight switch, so that's all ready to go. And then all I do is I put the other connector here on the positive, and then I've got some of these waterproof ring terminals that will go on the negative, and then I just hook the negative or the ground to this bolt right here, which hooks to the frame, which is grounded. So that's all the complexity there is to it. I'm gonna go ahead, I cut a little piece of shrink wrap that I'm gonna put on this one, or heat shrink that I'm gonna put on that one. I do go ahead and wrap these in what's it called, electrical tape, to make sure to try to seal up these connections as good as I can, because my local hardware store doesn't carry any, like I guess non-permanent waterproof connections. So that's what I would rather have, like these type of connectors, like a male-female connector that I can unplug and plug this fan in. So if I do need to take it off like this, I don't have to cut this wire or anything, because you know, theoretically I only have a limited supply of that wire going up to the headlight switch, so I might as well preserve it while I can. So, but I've never had a problem with it shorting out or anything, so hopefully we should be good once I get them connected and all wired up. Yeah, like I said, I go ahead and I wrap that in electrical tape just to make sure it's all good and sealed up. So yep, haven't had a problem with that, so I'll just go ahead and get this guy wired up real quick, and then we can get it back on the quad and make sure it works. So I'm gonna do that real quick. Okay guys, well, I got it all wired up. You probably saw me go ahead and put this on, but what I didn't take into account is that when I melted this heat shrink, it actually melted the plastic on this connector, and so it wouldn't go on to the other connector, and so I had to end up just taking it off, putting a new one on, and then I'm gonna wait until, I'm not sure, I may not even heat shrink it. I'll just see. I've got it on there just in case, but I may wait till it's actually on the quad before I heat shrink it, and maybe just not go quite as long as I did. So got it on there just in case, but then the other one is all good. That's a waterproof connection, so it's supposed to be good and like that. So got that on. I went ahead and plugged it in, made sure it was gonna work. It is, and so the only thing left to do is to mount it back up to the quad, and yeah, then we'll have our brand new fan back, or we'll have our good fan speed back. So let's get it mounted up. Okay guys, well we got that fan all mounted up and she purrs like a kitten. Here we go. Not sure if you'll be able to tell a difference from the beginning of the video, but it sounds much better. Old girl moves some air, so yeah, that moves some really good air. So yeah, that ought to keep it cool. But anyway, that's pretty much all there is to that. So one thing I did end up doing is I think I got rid of this clear tube through here. I saw someone else who did that mod, got rid of it and just plugged this hole. I just went to this hardware store and grabbed, this is like a galvanized cap, and hose clamped it in there, and I messed with it and everything. I think it's good and secure in there, so I may ride with it, just see how it is. You know, it shouldn't affect anything because I don't run an airbox lid. And then that just kind of gets that out of the way and eliminates that. So hopefully that will be a good mod. I'm not sure. Worst comes to worst, I've still got the tube, so if I want to put it back in, I can. But otherwise, for now, I'm going to try that and just kind of, like I said, just kind of gets rid of some stuff, makes maneuvering around here a little bit easier. So other than that, I got that back together, so the only thing left to do is just put the plastics and everything back on. So I'll probably do that real quick, and then that'll probably close out this video. Okay guys, well, I decided a little bit different. Decided not to put the plastics on. I decided it needed a little bit of a bath. So at first glance from afar, it may look like it is all good, but I decided if you come up close, yeah, it's pretty dirty still. So those are usually the parts that you can't get with the plastics on. So usually what I do is I just wash it really good, make sure it looks good from with the plastics on and stuff. But I think to kind of maintain the quad a little bit better after races and stuff, I'm going to start taking the plastics off and everything and washing it real good just to make sure it's good and clean, and yeah, just maintain stuff a little bit better. So got everything plugged off, got the carburetor good there, fuel hose, all that fun stuff, and so we should be good to get this thing good and pressure washed. So yeah, I'll probably time lapse this real quick to close out this video, and then I probably won't go ahead and put the plastics on quite yet until it dries off and stuff. So then this will just be a good kind of video leading up to putting the fan on, and then also leading up to round 2 of Extreme XC this weekend. So should be a good race. So anyway, I'm going to get this thing power washed, and then I'm also going to do a little bit of scrubbing in some different spots, and then yeah, then we'll probably close out the video from there. So Okay guys, well, got her all cleaned up and she is looking good. So basically I went through, pressure washed, got the major dirt stains off, and then I went ahead and just scrubbed her down. So some of you guys may be thinking that I went way too in depth, maybe did too much cleaning, but honestly it's just up to the owner how much cleaning you want to do, you know. Since mine's a race quad, I really like to keep it clean and looking good. You know, I rebuilt it this winter and it was looking so fresh then, and you know, it's never gonna look that good again unless I totally tear it down and redo it. But tried to get it as clean as I could. One thing I really try to focus on is I scrub tires, because I think, you know, you scrub the tire, you pressure wash it, it looks good, but you scrub it and it basically makes the tire look brand new again. So I think that's one thing that people maybe underestimate, is even just scrubbing the tires down makes the quad look way better, just getting it good and clean. So like I said before, I've never really torn it down this much. All I used to do was just I'd bring it home after the race, spray it off with the pressure washer, and then usually I would do one good scrubbing after that, even with the plastics on and all that. So what I think I'm going to do now is I'm going to continue to do it like this. Maybe not quite down this far, you know. I've got the gas tank and the air box off, but that was just because I was replacing the fan. So we'll see. I may do that, you know. I guess that stuff's pretty easy to take off, but honestly the hardest part is just taking the front plastics off. And it's really not that hard, but it's just kind of cumbersome with these air fins and how they mount up. They're kind of a pain to mount up, but other than that, yeah, cleans up really well. And yeah, that's how you get a quad looking good and keep it looking good and clean. Is I try to pressure wash it after every time I ride it, and then yeah, I definitely don't go this in depth after every time I ride it. Just, you know, after every time I ride it, try to pressure wash it, get the major mud off, and then usually leading up to the race, when I know I'm not going to ride anymore, I go ahead and I'll pressure wash it, and then I'll probably tear it down a little bit, take the plastics and stuff off, and give it a good scrubbing, since I know I'm not going to be riding anytime. So anyways, that's gonna probably conclude for this video. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. This is gonna be the last video before the race this weekend. So round 2 of Extreme XC Deer Camp in Bloomfield, Indiana is where we'll be this weekend. So yeah, you should see this video towards the end of the week, and then right after this video you should see either my race video or my race vlog will come up. So should be a good weekend. But anyway, in this video got the old fan hooked up, and it works pretty good. So I went ahead and I linked down in the description where I got it off of Amazon. You can get I linked a couple different ones. One thing you want to make sure you do if you do order this is make sure it's a puller fan, because if you accidentally order a pusher fan, well, honestly it might work a little bit because you're still pushing air across the fins, but it's definitely not going to work as good because you're not pulling air through the same direction that you're moving. So yeah, make sure you get a puller fan, because that's what you need to make sure it's pulling air through and not. So yeah, if you want that, those are linked down in the description. And if you actually use that link to buy it, or any of the Amazon links that I put on my videos, it actually comes back and helps me. I get a percentage of whatever you buy through that link. So even if it's not what I linked, so for example, if you click on that link and you don't buy the fan, but you buy something else when you're on that link, I still get a percentage of whatever you bought. So it comes back, it helps the channel, it's cool, and then I get to invest more in this, which gives me more ability to make more content. So if you're feeling generous and you're shopping on Amazon anyway, come to my YouTube channel, click on a link, and it'll help me out. So I want to thank you guys for watching, coming and watching the videos. I hope you're enjoying it. Trying to make some good content without totally boring you guys to death or anything. So trying to make stuff like washing the quad interesting and informative. So hopefully you enjoyed it. I will see you at the races this weekend. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.